Hello and welcome to Stitching Tale, a podcast about all things sewing and what it's really like to run a sewing business. I am Johanna Lundström of The Last Stitch.
And I am Malena Hjerpe of Hazelhen Patterns.
And today is the first episode of the fall because we took a little bit of a break in the summer just to get a little bit of a vacation and catch up with other things that are not pod and sewing related. And but now we're back on track and we're going to publish weekly episodes on Tuesdays. I do realize I'm a little bit rusty now. I think we had a good run there. Now I realize, like, how do we speak in English? Because I haven't really spoken in English either for about a month or so. But
yeah, but I mean, isn't that the feeling for everyone when you get first back to work after a long holiday? You're like, wait a minute, what do I do? What is my position? What is the password again? Like, I think we can all relate, hopefully, to that. So
yes,
yeah.
That's very, very true. We're gonna have a little bit of a slow start here, and we're definitely gonna get running. And I also should say that here in the southern Sweden, we're in the midst of a heat wave. So if you're watching the video version, and you will see me frantically patting my forehead and looking very shiny. It's not that I've got a new foundation. It's just good old sweat. And secondly, I should now turn my face a little bit, and you can see here. If you wonder why I look like Jaws in the villain in the old Bond movies, it's because I have removed two fake teeth that I have. They are for a little bit, I'm airing my mouth, so to speak. So if you wonder why it looks so weird with those metal plugs sticking out and that big gap when I smile, it's all good and well. I just had to remove them.
Accident have happened. It was intentional.
Absolutely. The dentist decided to do this, so I'm going to be toothless for 3 weeks. So there will be a few more podcast episodes, I think. You will see my new look. So how's it been going for you, Malena? It's been a while since we chatted as well.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been great having summer. It's I mean, in the last couple of episodes we complained that there were no heat at all and was like, when is summer starting? Like, come on. Yeah, in July it started. Oh my god, it started. And I mean, I don't want to complain that I live in northern Sweden. We had like plus 30 degrees like for 3-4 weeks straight, it felt like, which is, it's so warm for us. Right now in Europe, especially Southern Europe, I'm like, how are you surviving? It is crazy heat wave. Right now we have, it's raining, you have to have a jacket on. So it's like, we're back to regular Swedish weather here.
Yeah, this summer has been insane. I don't know what it's been like in other parts of the world, but here in Europe we have several heat waves, and also in the southern parts of Sweden and in the northern part as well, right?
Yeah.
So we had... And I was also on a cruise, so I actually went over the Atlantic. No, I took flight over the Atlantic, but I spent a week traveling to Florida, and then we went on a big family cruise to celebrate my dad's 80th birthday. So I've been both to the US, Bahamas, Mexico, and Honduras, which was
amazing.
It was an amazing experience. It was really wonderful. I've been to New York before, but that was the only part of North America I've been to before. So it was really nice to discover Central America as well. And but it was pretty hot over there as well. So maybe we're not the only one who had heat waves in this summer. So it's been a struggle. and also here in Sweden, unless you work in like a good office environment, there is no AC. Because we are not like used to deal with this kind of heat.
We're not really doing that, because I mean it's our houses are like very well built. It can handle cold, no problem at all. But we always are like, but heat, I mean, it doesn't get that warm here in Sweden, so we don't need an AC. And then summer comes, those couple of weeks when it's like so warm, it's like, oh yeah, we do need one. We need to get something.
Yeah, I know. I've seen a lot of people now getting those portable ACs that they move
Yeah,
around.
that's on my I need to buy this list, definitely.
Yeah, because unfortunately it doesn't seem to, the prognosis isn't too promising with the climate change and everything, that we will look forward to have a colder climate. And I actually read an article about due to these heat waves in the summer in the southern parts of Europe, that we have this opposite tourism now, that people are coming to Sweden because it's
Coldcation.
Coldcation,
yeah,
right?
because it's colder here.
Yeah. So
and we still think it's like unbearably hot. So
yeah, and then it's very rarely over 30 degrees, I should say. So it's we have it much easier here. But as you say, we're unused to it, and our housing is built to make them warm, not to keep us
exactly.
cold. So it's and all the fans are like sold out, and everything is like gets crazy here in Sweden. So there is no way of getting any chilling gear because everyone is panicking, because it's like we always, but it's taken by surprise every time it happens. So
it's amazing. We always forget like what it is like. But this is also like something very typical. I think not just Sweden, but like Scandinavian countries, Nordic countries in general. We are kind of obsessive of the weather. So it's like, how has your holiday been? Then we talk about the weather. Everyone has experienced the weather, but it is like, so this is what we want to talk about. But moving on from the weather, I have actually been sewing a little bit this summer as well.
Oh, nice.
Surprise, surprise.
Tell us about it.
Yes. I had a friend who came over and she also sews. And she was like, well, should we just drink cava or should we sew as well? I was like, well, let's sew and drink cava. Perfect combination. So yeah, we had an evening of just catching up, sewing and drinking a little bit of, fancy cava.
Nice.
So that was, it was really nice. I made 2 bilberry tops, or one I hacked into a dress. They're not done yet because we did it at home and I have all my sewing equipment in my studio. So I just brought the overlocker back home. So I need to, it's a couple of things to, hem and do that pleat stitch. And then they're done. So it's a little bit left. But yeah, it was really... Like, why don't we do this more often? Have the evenings of sewing. What a brilliant
idea. Yeah, having those friendly sew-along. I mean, that sounds so nice. How did it feel? Because I think you even more than I just sew for business normally. So what it's like to sew without having to produce a product or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, this is for work basically, because it is so I can take pictures and also show the dress hack. But just the setting is, much more relaxing and nice. So I am thinking of starting some type of how do you say? Yeah, meetup. Maybe once a quarter, like 3 or 4 times a year, we meet up and sew for a Saturday or something. That would be so nice because I do miss the community feeling of like, getting together, chatting, then just, coming along, talking, catching up.
Yeah,
I miss being social. When I work from home all the day, I do love it, but I kind of miss the social aspect. So you have to figure it out then yourself how to do that. So that's my plan.
That's such a great plan, and I used to do sew-alongs where you went to a place and you sewed all day or a weekend there, and I love having those. And maybe I'm just off the loop, I guess, in a way. So I haven't really been doing that lately in the last few years. And I totally agree with you. And it's such a fun, because sewing sometimes can feel a little bit drudgery. I mean, it can be a little bit overwhelming and taxing. But when you do it in a social setting, it doesn't even feel like work. And
no,
it's such an easy way, and you're just chatting and you get inspired by seeing someone else doing the same thing. I think that's so important, always to be surrounded by people that can motivate you regardless of what type of pursuit you are doing. I totally agree with you. So it's so fun to hear. We love those cava and sewing. Remember we heard it first. It's Malena's new idea. And please follow Malena's sewing steps, so to speak, and do those kind of gatherings. We would love to hear from you if you have tried it, or if you have any other ideas of how to do this kind of fun meetups locally with sewing friends and just sewing acquaintances and other people who like to craft.
Yeah, definitely. And how has your summer been? Did you do anything sewing related?
Yes, I'm actually wearing, right now, if you're watching the video version, I am wearing a rayon blouse made of, I don't remember the name, but I like to buy from a local vendor here in Gothenburg that sells Italian fashion fabrics from those big brand designers. So it's a pretty fancy fabric. It's white with, I think, blue poppies or something like that. It looks a little bit like that. So that was an interesting experience because I have some things to say. I love first of all, just like you, I felt really motivated, and I just planned this morning things that I want to start sewing because I really want to go back to sew for fun as well. And so this blouse is not a work project. It's just something I would like to wear. And I had an interesting revelation again, is to keep it simple. So, I love doing things the hard way. So in this case, I'm holding up now. You can see it has like short flutter sleeves or bell sleeves with a rolled hem. And the original pattern is from Burda style, and I've done this pattern a long time before. So the original has cuffs and pleats, so it looks really nice. But the problem with this pattern is that when you move around, it kind of hugs your biceps. And I did this really complicated placket construction from the original pattern. And when I was done, and I was like, oh my God, I can't move I cannot function in this blouse. It looks super pretty, beautiful pleated puff sleeves with this rigid cuff, and it looks super cute. But I realized I will not wear this because I cannot function in it. So I had to take a step back, and I ripped away the cuff, and I tried to remove the pleats and make them smaller. But the problem remained, and I guess that's because the cuff ended up in the wrong spot where it really hindered my movement. So that goes to show again what it's so important to do a fitting while you're sewing, and also different fabrics will behave differently. Last time I used a different interfacing, so it had a little bit more give, and also I've been pretty consistent with weightlifting, so I like to think that my biceps are a little bit bigger than last time I made this pattern about 10 years ago. Anyways, but then I realized just a good old narrow overlock hem. I mean, it took me 20 minutes, and honestly, this complicated placket and pleat construction took me 4 or 5, it felt like almost a work day just to do it with all the steps. And then I ended up doing this instead, and it took me 20 minutes.
It looks really pretty. It looks, it doesn't look like an afterthought. It looks like that's how it is designed for that particular garment. So it looks really nice. Can I ask, my pattern making brain is going it's working full speed now. Is it quite small shoulder, it's the shoulder, is it quite far out or quite close in, small shoulder to shoulder?
It's a raglan sleeve.
It's a raglan sleeve. It's a raglan sleeve. That's why I couldn't really see.
Yeah, it's a raglan sleeve. So it's a really beautiful design, and I will post pictures both of this version and the original version from Burda style as well, so you can see the difference. So maybe that could also be a cause of the. But now. Well,
how is it the armhole, bottom of armhole? Is it quite deep?
Yeah, pretty deep, I guess.
It looks quite deep. Of the because sleeve. Usually, if it's a really low armhole, then when you move around, the whole garment usually lifts up, and it is a little bit trickier to move. Yeah. It could be that the armhole is too low. Then, if it was higher, then it's easier to move around and lift your arms, basically. Could be that.
There could be that, because I definitely felt that it wasn't just the fact that the the sleeve, the pleats and the cuff created a rigid situation. I also totally agree with you that it was a construction issue, and I noticed the same thing back when I was drawing my own patterns more often, that I ran into this problem sometimes where you say that the range of movement was limited, even though the measurements, I mean, there was enough ease in the sleeve, so it shouldn't be that tight.
That's a little bit like backwards. You think that like, the bigger the armhole, the bigger the hole, then it's going to be so much easier to move around with. But if it's too deep, you can imagine a pair of tight trousers, but then the crotch is like 2 inches, 5-10 centimeters below your actual crotch. You're not going to be able to move your legs out then, because the crotch is too low. It's not at your body. So it's gonna hinder the movement.
Yeah, you bring up very good points, and also, of course, you talk about that in our book Fit for Knits as well. When you're constructing a sleeve, that it might seem counterintuitive that a more narrow armhole is actually better for movement if you don't want the garment to like follow with you when you're moving around. So, for instance, if you're doing activewear, for instance, it makes a lot more sense to have a narrow sleeve rather than having those low sleeves that are obviously quite popular right now, because we do have an oversized trend in general, but it comes with its pros and cons for sure. So it's probably it's a combination of those things, and I mean, even pattern makers can get this wrong. And I think, looking back, I think I had some issues with the previous version as well. It was just as prominent because the fabric had a bit more give as well. So I think also it's again depending on the fabric. I mean, some fabric just have more give, so you don't really feel that constriction as much as. And also, who knows? I mean, the fact that it's a very soft rayon fabric and that the sleeves are cut on bias. I mean, there's probably likelihood that the sleeve opening became larger just due to sewing, and I didn't check that. I mean, I tried to check everything, but I didn't actually check that part of it.
But I mean, it looks beautiful, and the fabric has such a nice drape to it when you move. So very nice project, great success.
Thank you. So next up is I'm going to make a pair of jeans, a pair of straight, somewhat tight-fitting jeans. So I'm going to do that next week, hopefully. So I felt really, really, I mean, it was taxing to have to rip, or mostly it was taxing before I realized that I had a simple solution. But but what I loved about this was that when I realized that this was not going to work, and the fact that I slept on it, and then the next day I was like, the solution presented itself. And that's one of the things I really love about sewing, is that it challenges you. It challenges you and teaches you problem solving and figuring things out as you go, and also being prepared to pivot maybe if something doesn't work out. And also, there's a pattern, and I'm sure the pattern was drafted well, but still you cannot assume that it will automatically work for you in any type of fabric. So you have to be, open to do adaptations and check things. And I realized that. So luckily I didn't destroy anything.
Because it's so easy to just put it in a pile of, I will get to this later, then when you're a bit frustrated with your project. But pivot along the way. That's a great solution.
Yeah, and also when we last recorded an episode, I think you were in the midst of your busy work week, because you have plans to launch a new pattern, right, in the fall?
Yes.
So how's it been going? Tell us. I have no idea, because we haven't talked about this beforehand either, so I'm just as curious as the listeners are.
Yeah, I had one magical week where I didn't have any freelance work, but I was still working like full time. Kids were at school and stuff. So I had 1 week when I could just focus on my own project. So nice. So Bilberry top. I'm actually wearing a sample right now.
Wow.
I have done several blog posts. I haven't posted anything yet, but prepared several blog posts about hacking the patterns and not to sew along. But here are a few of the more crucial steps that I like took pictures. I had pictures before, but now I made them into a blog post because my sewing instructions are all like illustrations. So then a blog post with photos might be helpful if you have trouble seeing the illustrations or understanding the illustrations. So I have prepared that. The pattern is ready to go. So yeah, I feel prepared to not just push the launch button in September, 4th September. That's the date that I'm aiming at.
Wow, nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So almost
Just
everything is
weeks.
prepared. A few things I will still need to do. Like one, for example, the most boring thing, writing the text for the Etsy shop. You know,
the product description, right? Yes, I know.
That one I haven't done yet. But otherwise, it feels so nice to have actually been able to prepare so much for this, and also like prepared some mails that I will send out to my mailing list and stuff. So it's really, I'm feeling good about it.
Wow, you've been so productive in just 1 week. You managed to do all that kind of stuff. It's so good, and I'm so happy that you decided against releasing it just before the summer and instead waiting and really having all the ducks in a row, which it sounds like. That's awesome, and I'm so excited about it because we don't launch that many sewing patterns, if you have noticed, because it's a lot of work and we do other stuff. So I'm so excited to see to follow along and cheering you on this release. It's very, very exciting, and I think since we launched this podcast, you released your free Malva tee, right? And that was almost 1.5 years ago. Now. And I released one sewing pattern, the Vida knit pants. So it's definitely not. We're just it happens slowly, but surely. So I'm very, very excited to see this, and it's going to be really cool to see the pictures. Have you also done the photo shoots, or are that?
No.
Now, if you're watching the video, Malena made like a cringy face, like, oh.
Yeah, that's the thing that I like. Such a crucial thing, obviously, to have photos,
Totally.
But I still haven't done that. And I mean, as I said, I saw 2 samples in our sewing evening. They're not quite done yet, so can't do photos on them either. But I have like 4 samples, like for myself, that we just have to do it.
Yeah.
But it is those pictures that are,
and they're so important. I mean, you cannot
so
skip
important.
That.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. And also, I mean, I just had this realization again that I need to take, because sometimes when you launch a pattern and you have all these nice photos, but they get a little bit tired or you feel a little bit stale. So it's also good sometimes to do reshoots of all the sewing patterns, just to give it a little bit of freshen up, maybe do it in a different environment or some other person or something like that. So I'm also planning for that in the fall, to just do some new photos, because it's so nice to have, because especially if you're on social media and you're like, what am I going to post? It's so nice to have not having to post the same 2-3 photos of the garment over and over and over again.
Yeah, and I mean it's perfect time now of the year to take photos outside. Yeah. It's so much easier to do it now, and we still have some light. Totally. Then in the winter, it's going to be dark and really weird to take like a top outside in the winter taking photos. Like that doesn't make sense. It's cold. So yeah, it's still on my to-do list. But
you have as we are recording this, you have 2.5 weeks, I think, about to get it done.
Right.
And by the time you I'm just doing the math for you.
Thank you. Damn it.
Not that you need it. But
I kind of did. It's always weird when like, oh right, I don't know where time
where you said like 4th of
sudden.
September, and this podcast is going to be released, I think, around the 20th or something. I'm doing the math, August, so it's basically just 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah.
And everyone is listening to it's basically just 2 weeks to go before the big launch, which is very exciting, but it's also quite close.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it will be what it will be. Like, it's gonna be published on the 4th. It's I am not gonna wait anymore with this. I'm kind of getting a little bit like, it has been a long process, this one. You have heard me complaining about it in every other episode about how I just want to get it done now. So it needs to be published.
Yeah, and it will be, and I know that. And that's so great about you, because when you put your mind to it, you're extremely effective, and I have no doubt in the world that you won't be able to pull this off. And so stay tuned, mark the date in your calendar, and also subscribe on Malena's mailing list to be on the loop when it's released. And in the show notes of every episode, there's a link where you can get on Malena's mailing list, plus get a free t-shirt pattern as well, the Malva tee. So it's a double treat.
Yeah, and I will get back on with this, but I'm actually thinking of, I'm gonna have some launch discount, nice. And just to be able to track a little bit, like, where are customers coming from, like to actually have different codes from, like, if you see this on Instagram, here is the code. If you see it on the mailing list, here is the code. And if you see it on the or hear it about the podcast, so I can a little bit, because those kind of statistics, you want to know, like, where to focus on, and where is keeping track of things. So and since I do want to encourage people to be on my mailing list, that discount will be larger compared to elsewhere. So be sure to be on my mailing list, and you will get it. I mean, can I share another funny update? Maybe not so funny, but
okay, give us,
because
give it to us.
Obviously I have a little bit things to do still before this launch, which I'm not feeling stressed about, because I will have a little bit more time. Okay, so to recap, for listeners who don't keep track of my business,
and you should listen to every episode. It's an ongoing saga, in both our lives. So
it's a roller coaster for sure. No, but this in early summer, late spring, I said that I was fully booked this autumn. Then I said that that changed. Then I had nothing. Then I got booked again. Then that changed again. So instead of being August to end of January, it's just August to 1st September.
Dang, I didn't know that. I think because when we spoke, that you got booked again.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
That's changed again. So that's a little bit. It's a little bit sad. I mean, there's no hard feelings at all. This is what freelance work. This is it. Like, this is how it is. You just have to, accept it. It goes up and down, and things change. Yeah. It's a business decision. So I don't. No hard feelings at all. I understand that everyone needs to do what's best for their company. Totally accept that. But so now I have a couple of days also before the launch now that I can actually focus on launch, if you're trying to look from the bright side.
Bright side, because we're gonna try to make lemonade out of this situation, and it's true.
Yeah, and actually 2 days ago, I actually got I mean, the fall is long. I got a couple of weeks booked, so things are happening from day to day.
Yeah, and
it's like a bumpy roller coaster ride.
Totally, and I know, because I mean, for the longest time when I've known you, this has been the situation always, right? And
it hasn't been this many on the same period, but quicker,
it's
of course,
but it's just long term, and of course it's also understandable, because right now the global situation with trades and tariffs and the outlook on things, it's and the recession and inflation, it's hard to there's a massive uncertainty right now, so you can totally see why all companies are kind of pulling back right now and trying to make sure that things are stable before they start and press the forward button. So it's those are the times basically. And
and I mean, things changes within companies as well, so it's just it's hard to predict. So you just have to be. But I still feel a lot more, how do you say, at ease with the situation compared to before when this had happened. Now I'm just gonna, well, if I don't have any booked jobs, then I'm just gonna focus on my own business, and fingers crossed, wait and see until more jobs. I mean, obviously I have reached out to a couple of people that I know, just like saying, hello, I'm available now. So we'll see. But I'm not panicking. I'm not gonna, start to look for other jobs completely in other sections or anything. I'm gonna sit still in the boat and wait until the storm has calmed down a bit.
Have ice in the stomach, as we say in Sweden. I don't think you say that in other countries, but
no.
It sounds kind of. It's so funny when you think about it. It's like kind of unpleasant to have like a big chunk of ice.
But it's basically be chill.
Be chill, right? Yeah. Exactly.
Don't react so much at the moment. I'm gonna be a little bit chill and see what happens. So
and put trust in the things. And of course, I mean, you're so established in your career, so you always have this momentum around you and connections and everything is like that. So that's usually how you tend to land on your feet. And when you get established within a business, that things tends to sort themselves out. And that is, of course, due to the fact that you've been working for so long and have this big established network of possible clients and connections. So, of course, fingers crossed. But in a way, kind of good, because my experience from launching patterns and also working full-time it's been super stressful. I mean, I've been like... sitting with the computer on my lunch break, trying to manage stuff and be on top of things and maybe answer like questions about the pattern and everything like that. So it's never just, even though you have everything prepped, it's never like you can just press and play, and there's always something you have to fix, and sometimes you realize, oh no, I should have fixed that, or I forgot to do that with that file, or it's just a stressful time. And also it's good to give,
that's why I didn't want to. I could have published it like the day before I went on vacation, but I mean that's not a good way of doing it, because I wanted to be present and also do the marketing and that kind of thing. So I'm happy that I waited. So this fall it changes things.
Exactly.
We have a book to write.
Exactly. So we do have time now, because technically both you and I do not have a full
your situation. Tell us.
Exactly, because if you listen to the last episode that we did before we went on holiday, I announced that I've actually decided to quit my day job for good. I mean, I've been having a temporary leave, and I worked part-time, and it's been again, it's basically also long. We have two stories, and that's we have several continuous stories on this podcast, and you have yours, both with the Bilberry pattern. That's been also a continuous story, and of course
marathon,
and the freelance situation, and again. My reoccurring story is the fact that I have trouble doing it all, and I've had some feelings of overwhelm and stress, and it just hasn't been a great feeling for the last year or so. So anyways, I decided to quit my day job, and starting basically technically last week, but starting this week, I'm on my own 100%. So I gotta make this work.
Nice.
I gotta make this work, and I I know exactly what I need to do, but I also realize that before I will be able to generate a full-time salary, which is my ultimate goal, I think it's going to take 1 to 2 years. Luckily, I can take a part-time salary from my company, and I also have a good financial runway because I've put money in the barns. What do you say like that? Because I worked so much, I've been able to save a bit. So I think I will be able to make this. So hopefully, but I also feel I'm so happy now. And now also we will see with your time, because we have a book to write, and we're going to try to make that happen, right? This fall, I feel super motivated about doing that. And that's one of the things I really look forward to this fall, that dive into a deep project again, because that's where I feel the most happy in my work, when I just know, okay, I'm going to go to the office and I'm going to go do this, and this is my daily task, and at the end I will have this nice product. And I love so much working with you, Malena, and I think this idea that we have for a book is really solid. So hopefully next year we will be able to publish another book. Right?
Yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah,
I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen in next fall, 2026. I have a good feeling. Of course, things can happen because life is life, right?
But I mean, we are not starting from scratch with this book.
Nope.
We have, I mean, last summer I prepared the patterns for it, graded it and everything. It's just like converting it into beautiful patterns, like workable patterns for like PDF versions or book format. So it's more formatting the patterns. And I mean, sewing instruction and everything, we are not starting from scratch. We have so much, it is more composing it all together,
composing together. Exactly. That's why it's going to take a little bit of time. And of course, again, making the samples and the photo shoot and, you know, all this kind of stuff. That's where it's going to take time, because there's so many moving parts in creating a book. But I feel really confident about the patterns, and also I've already started on the sewing instructions, and I have the format for the book. It's going to be really, really pretty. So we're going to try to post some screenshots of the design as well, so you can get a feeling of it. So
wouldn't it be nice? Sorry, interrupt. Because I was going to ask, I think it is this weekend in Gothenburg. Isn't it the Syfestival, the sewing fair?
Is it this week or is it next week?
I don't know. But anyway, you said that you want to be there next year, so you should definitely go there to research. And should we have it as an aim that we are going to launch our book to that fair?
Wow, that would be awesome. I don't know if it's technically possible, but if we could get the books, if we can get them to the printer. I love the way you're thinking. I also get inside kind of stressed, but but that would be awesome. Yeah, it's usually the last weekend of August. So technically speaking, even though we would probably release it, we could do like a pre-launch with book signing. It could be done.
I'm just throwing the idea out there. We'll see if it's I mean, it is our own plan. We can change it, we can pivot if we need to, but just saying.
And cut to Malena's fully booked for the next year in freelance work, and I realize I have to take another day job, but we will make this happen.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome. That would be so nice, because I love what I really want to do is do a live podcast, and of course have a booth, but we could do a live podcast. But being able to sign and sell books and launch it would be a dream. Wow. Okay, we have 12 months. Let's make this happen. Wow, I'm so excited. I have no idea we're going to pull it off, but I am so excited about this idea. Thank you for being such a motivator, Malena. I got the kick in the butt.
Yes. No, but I think it would be such an amazing timing. And like the first book we wrote, Fit for Knits, I mean, that took so much more time. But then we also started from scratch with basically everything, like all the illustrations, everything from scratch. Now we have so much already in our library, so I have no doubt that we are going to be able to pull this off.
Good. I love the way you're thinking. We're going to make this happen. Oh, everyone, come to Sweden the last week in August in 2026 to meet us in person and have a chat. That will be so fun. Oh, I feel super motivated. I know, I mean, both you and I are good about making things happen once we put our mind to it, and of course set the time aside. I mean, that's basically the realization you always have, that if it's not on the schedule, it won't get done. So usually having a deadline and a plan for how to do it, that's that's a secret to success in any field, I think. It's and
I mean, the great thing about working for yourself is you don't You don't have to put deadlines on things. Like it can take, you can take your time and do it well. But you kind of need those deadlines a little bit to actually get things done.
Totally.
Otherwise, it's just like you come to a point when it's like, am I actually improving things now, or am I just procrastinating the launch because I am a little bit scared of launching? So there's a fine line there somewhere.
Yeah, very, very true. You have to work on a schedule, I think. It's just sometimes it's nice to switch things around, but yeah, totally. So, well, okay, now we have the year plan. Let's make this happen. We're going to write the book. We have 12 months to finish it and have it printed.
I mean, my plans for the fall, since things have changed, I haven't really I don't have a set to-do list. But since you knew about this, I mean, that you are going to quit your job, what are your first plans for the fall? Like, what's on your agenda?
Yeah, so, I mean, of course, it depends now how we're going to do with the book. I realized how to switch them around. But before this, we started recording. My plan now, this first couple of weeks in August, as we are recording this, I am going to do a couple of more course chapters for my Denim Master Jeans course. So I have a few more ideas that I want to add, including instructions for how to sew a button fly and a little bit more on how to make different kind of waistbands, curved waistbands. So I have a few add-ons that I plan to do. So I'm also going to sew a pair of jeans simultaneously. And so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm just going to do some updates on that and just expand on that course.
So I'm asking now for all the people who have already bought the course, will it be available for them as well?
Absolutely. Everything I will add is included in the course. So there's no extra fee or anything like that. I just want to expand upon it, because when you make a course about sewing jeans, I mean, I show how to do it from start to finish, but then there are nuances and there are things and there are different options. So I wanted to make sure that I can expand when I feel it's the right time, and I get more feedback from those who are taking the course. And so I feel really, really good about that. So I'm going to spend my next 2 weeks in the studio making and filming a new pair of jeans, which I'm really excited about, and I will also be able to wear the jeans, so it's a win-win situation for me.
Always
as well.
A benefit.
Yeah, that's very, very good about sewing. And then in September, I plan to get started with YouTube again, and I will not do a weekly schedule. That's unrealistic, but I will hopefully be able to post one video a month, and I think I will be able to stick to that. And then, of course, I will work on the book. And I also have ideas currently I have ideas for 3 different sewing patterns, but I'm not sure if I will be able to launch them during this, because I had plans for that, but now I realize maybe we should prioritize the book. But yeah, I have plans for a blouse and a dress and a skirt.
Cool.
So stay tuned. Yeah. So I'm building on my wardrobe staples thing. And it's all 3 are going to be made from knit fabric. So I'm going to keep doing that in that sector. So it's the kind of a little bit dressier knit garments that you can wear to the office and feel dressed up. And they will have some detailing that is reminiscent of tailoring, but still super comfortable and relatively easy to sew. So that's the plans for where I'm trying to drive the pattern leg of my business, so to speak. So I'm really excited about that. I'm currently, we're going to do another episode where we talk about fall trends and things like that. So I'm spending my evenings now looking for inspiration and seeing how I want to interpret it, the kind of trends that are going on right now. So I'm really excited to talk more about that in another episode. And I also will, because I went to the biggest musical festival this weekend, which is like the Swedish version of Coachella. And I made some really interesting trend forecasting. What are the young people looking like in 2025? And the answer might surprise you. So we're going to stay tuned for our trend forecast episode.
Yeah, looking forward to
talk about that as well. it's really, really interesting. I saw a major shift in how young people are dressing compared to previous years.
Okay.
So it was interesting. So, yeah.
That sounds like a great topic. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hear that.
So maybe we can inspire you. Maybe we're going to start dressing like the kids. We'll see.
Well,
especially I think one trend that it's the shaggy mullet. Are you familiar with that? That is like
the hair.
The hair, the mullet, yeah, because we call it like a hockey hair in Sweden, where it's short on top and then you have long strands in the back. And it's coming back with full force, both on men and women and all genders. So it's this big, and I think most of us that kind of grew up with that has.
I mean, you do you, whatever makes you happy, but I have,
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe next week I'm going to go to the hairdresser soon, so maybe I'll get back with a shaggy mullet. Who knows? This is the year. I mean, I have no teeth and or just metal sticks. So next step is getting my first tattoo and maybe also a mullet. We'll see. We'll see.
Stay tuned. Yeah.
Yeah. All right then, before I'm starting to melt away, I think we're going to have to end this podcast because if you're watching the video version, you will see that the shine, I'm shine. You can basically, I can mirror myself in my face right now because of the heat. It's crazy.
But it's so fun to be back on track again with this pod. And I mean, if anyone has any suggestion for topics, just write us anywhere. Like we'd love to hear your suggestions or anything we should discuss.
Totally. You can contact us on our socials, as also we have an email address in the show notes as well, stitchingtalespod@gmail.com. We love to hear you, and if you have any topics, as you say, questions, we love doing Q&A episodes. So we're a little bit short on the questions, so
and I'm gonna confess, I asked on Instagram, I asked for a question for a Q&A episode. We got a few, not so many, but I forgot. They have disappeared before I wrote them down.
No, you didn't add them to our document. No,
okay. I am gonna try to search them on Instagram if I can see them. But I mean, since it was a story, they disappeared. Yeah, the technical side of me. I think you can see them
if you go to the archive, and I think you will be able to see them.
I will try to. So
there is a way to do that.
It's not we ignore some comments or questions. It's sorry, I lost them.
Yeah, those are the challenges. With
you can send media. You can send us the same question again.
Yeah,
totally. We'll try to answer them now.
Yeah. That's so fun. So we look forward to more Q&A episodes in the fall as well. And if you have any other topic suggestions, Malena says, keep them coming. The weekly podcast is here to stay. So we love to get more ideas for things we want to talk about. You want us to talk about. And all right then. Thank you so much for listening. I am, as always, Johanna Lundström.
And I am Malena Hjerpe. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.